What's up, everybody? This is Owning the Huddle podcast, and today we are going to be talking about the 53-man roster. We are finally going to project. We're going to have conversations about last night's preseason game, week 3. It was against the Patriots, won the game. Going to talk about roster moves. Going to talk about the wide receivers, running backs, cornerbacks. Is there going to be a player that this team is going to pick up in the next couple of days? We're going to find out a lot about this team. We're going to find out a lot about Adam Peters and Dan Quayle, what they want to do. But look, this is Owning the Huddle.
I know it looks like Ceelo is at a hotel, but he disappeared. I don't know exactly where he is. But Breeze, what's good, man?
What's good?
Oh, there you go.
Is he back? Is he still frozen?
He trying to slide around the camera. Welcome back to Owning the Huddle podcast. Brother Deuce is here. He's here to defend his O-line. I'm getting sick and tired of you dudes and this fan base talking about my O-line. We gonna handle this today.
I said tell CJ to drop it.
No, y'all not taking that, bro. Y'all not taking that.
Nah, it's over. You already put it out there, DT.
I put Troy Apke because he ain't getting on the field. He ain't getting on defense at all.
See, that's the problem. You drinking that South Eagle.
Seriously, he's gonna make the team, and he's gonna be up back or something.
Up back is crazy. He's not making the team.
What is
Listen, if he makes this team as it's up, you know what? Nope.
All the fans leaving again.
They love trap.
Welcome back Under the Huddle podcast. I am Deuce. We got DT. We got Breeze in the building. That was 1 year ago. That was 1 year ago, man.
Time flies, man.
Time flies. We talking about Troy Apke, man. Like the nastiness. What's good, DT, man?
Nothing much, man. We're T-minus so many days from actual real football, but
13 now?
yeah, but we definitely got a lot to talk about. We've been kind of small hiatus for whatever small reasons. So.
Man, like I think Slim said in the chat earlier, this drag, it's supposed to be like 5:00 Tuesday morning right now. Breeze, what's good, man?
Man, I'm here, bro. I'm here, man. It's that time of year where everything is everything in right now. And you know what I'm saying? Like, we here, man. You know,
it's crazy, man. Carlton, what's good, man? Carlton is in the building. What's good? Chatter Bob was in the building, pushing that Yep. Here we go. Here we go.
We starting early.
Here we go. And my cousin got us in this whack ESPN draft. He got 40 seconds per clock. Like the clock is 40 seconds per pick.
Because that's what we do.
And he's a bunch of casuals. Commish was good. Commish says less than 24 hours. Yeah, the deadline I think is at 4 p.m. tomorrow. Carlton, he's also pushing the do agenda. Oh my God, Mitch was good. Mitch, great eye in the building. Key was good.
Jam was jam.
So like I already said my piece yesterday, right? On the midnight show. Check it out. Playback. I said my piece about Martavis Bryant. I said my piece. And then this morning, I see the wide receiver guru, right? The wide receiver coach guru, right? The dude that got his own beard butter, right? The dude that's just celebritying up the past couple months, right? He on the timeline agreeing with the guys about Martavis Bryant.
Wait a minute. Wait. Whoa. Which part did I agree with? Wait a minute.
Oh, man. Look.
Wait.
I saw it on there. You was adding Martavis Bryant to your 53. That's what I saw. Man.
Oh, I mean, yes and no. Yes and no. Yes. Are we getting into it? Are we getting?
We here now. Like
let's get it out the way.
So here's the thing, right? Even prior to trading Jahan Dotson, receiver was already a weak position group, and we had no idea what the back end of the receiver group was going to look like. We then move on from Jahan Dotson and do absolutely nothing in the wake of that, as of this podcast recording, to add talent to that group. Now, we talked earlier today about how I don't think you need to have a big receiver. I think that is vastly overrated with this fan base. There's an obsession with having 6'3" and 6'4" wide receivers, and just in this era of football, it's not necessary. So what I said was, when I was asked, what do I think the receiver group is going to look like? First of all, it's Terry and them. That's basically what it is. First of all, but outside of Terry, obviously, Luke McCaffrey. He's locked. He's set as a draft pick, as a rookie. De'Ami Brown, I think, has done more than enough to lock up his roster spot. And then you're looking at what's behind them. Olamide Zaccheaus seems to have locked up his spot. That's 4. And then you got a bunch of who and WTF behind it. And it's like, okay, I think they're going to keep 6 receivers. And I'm looking at, yes, absolutely. And I'm looking at it like, I think Martavis Bryant and Jamison Crowder are the last 2 guys to that group in whatever order you want to put them in. That being said, I think what other teams do around the league as far as who they cut will play a very big role. I don't necessarily think that the final 6 out of preseason for us will be the 6 that are on the roster week 1 when we play a game. I think if a team cuts somebody or somebody is made available, I can very easily see us going to get one or 2 of those guys. And I think Jamison Crowder and Martavis Bryant will be the first 2 guys out in that scenario. Now Crowder can return. We know Crowder has a history as a return man. Martavis Bryant does not. So that may give him a slight edge over Martavis Bryant. So I think Bryant is going to be the 5th or 6th receiver on the roster. I don't think he's going to be number 2. I never said, but I do see a scenario in which he is one of the final 6 on the roster.
So I asked you, Breeze, DT, everybody in the chat. Everybody that's here on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, I asked you this question.
Okay.
My cousin told me years ago, never trust a man that doesn't like football. That's what he told me. So I ask you guys, who do you trust more? A man that doesn't like football or a Commanders fan that believes Martavis Bryant will be wide receiver number 2?
That's just, oh my God.
Who do you trust more? I give you some time.
Wait, what am I putting trust in though? That's
in all things. Because my cousin was very specific about trust as in all things. Sports, relationships, education, religion. If they don't like football, do not trust them for nothing.
Yeah, he stole that from a bathroom.
Yeah. Who do I trust more? Probably somebody that believes in Martavis Bryant as a number 2. I probably trust them more. I think I would put more trust in that person. Not necessarily their opinions about football, but in general, I would probably trust that person more so than the man that doesn't like football.
Well, you had me when you said someone who doesn't like football, so I'm just going to have to go with the crazy take that someone says Martavis Bryant is wide receiver 2. I mean, shoot. At least
I have a football tattooed on me. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like.
But this debate is very funny when you just look at this wide receiver room just currently, even with all the undrafted guys, all the people they have acquired through free agency or waiver wire. If you look at the combined room after Terry from last year, combined, all of them had 52 catches. That is a huge indictment. And if Martavis Bryant somehow, some way becomes your wide receiver 2 over De'Ami, who's had a good camp, over Zaccheaus, who has had a good camp, like I just don't see it, man. Like, and trust and believe. Like he can play in the NFL, but think about who he's also playing against. He's playing against guys that's more likely will get cut tomorrow. I would like to see him do that against actual starters, but
with whom he hasn't played against in 5 years.
5 years, and I'm not saying he's what he did yesterday wasn't like he didn't do good at all. No, he had a solid performance, but at the same time, though, context is needed, and I just don't see them when it comes to Martavis Bryant. He'll more likely be on the practice squad than on the active roster. I think when you're looking at the couple of last two spots, you're looking at Crowder and Byron Pringle. Those guys are returners. Martavis Bryant doesn't return, but he can play special teams. So that's really where we at with this conversation. And I've just been seeing the timeline, been in spaces, like just people just talking about Martavis Bryant like as if this is 2014 again. Like, bro, no, let's stop.
The only thing I think Pringle and Crowder are kind of the same guy, more or less. I don't see them keeping both of them. And Pringle was here last year. Well, so was Crowder for that point, but obviously with not with this regime, obviously. But they saw enough in him to bring him back. But both of them, they bought both of them back. Pringle a lot later in the process. Read into that how you want to read into it. But yeah, that's why I just edged Crowder over Pringle, although Pringle is younger and I think he's a little bit bigger than Jameson Crowder is. But I think more or less skill set wise, they're the same guy, even down to the special teams usage. I guess Pringle could probably give you a little bit as a gunner where Crowder wouldn't. But as far as being a return man and stuff like that, they do a lot of the same things. So I just gave Crowder a slight edge, which is why I still give Bryant that edge being the sixth guy. Because I mean, although there's no need for a huge receiver, he does present something that we don't have outside of him. But again,
in fairness too, Tremaine, he's also the other big receiver in the room, but he can't when he does it practice does not translate to an actual game. I think that.
I wouldn't be surprised if Tremaine ended up on the practice squad.
Yeah,
I just don't see it. I just don't see it on the 53. And again, like I said, as far as the big receiver thing that people have been running with as it pertains to Martavis Bryant, Martavis Bryant is the biggest receiver at 6'4". Ben Sinnott is the smallest tight end at the exact same size, height wise anyway. The tight end room is 6'4", 6'5", a bunch of 6'6". Like, you don't need
goal line.
Like you don't need.
And then you got Eckler too.
Receiver. Yeah. Oh, right. So you know what I mean, and who knows how well that may shake out with the other running backs that they keep. That they've all kind of shown the ability to catch the ball out the backfield. You don't need a 6'4" receiver. Yeah. And even if you keep Martavis Bryant, like I said to Deuce earlier, it's like people think of a 6'4" receiver, and for whatever reason, they picture Randy Moss, Larry Fitzgerald, Calvin Johnson. They picture those guys when they look at that height. And the reality of it is, with all due respect to the players on the lower end of that scale, trash cans come in all sizes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't. There's no standard size for a trash can. You can get a big trash can, you can get a small trash can. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, the better receivers in the history of this organization, when you look at Art Monk, who I believe was 6'1", 6'2", Santana Moss below 6 feet, Terry McLaurin 6'1", the whole fun bunch. None of them were big guys. Like, so like we historically haven't had a huge receiver in this organization. I know.
I mean, historically in the NFL, how many have you had?
Right, like the guys I named are the guys. Randy Moss, T.O. was 6'2", 6'3", 6'2", 6'3". Larry Fitzgerald, Calvin Johnson, Andre Johnson.
Yeah.
Like, after that, it gets a little iffy.
Shaky, right?
Yeah. So
what's up, Hawk? Welcome back, Hawk. Football season is here. Commish was good. Commish. Jared.
Yo.
Good, man.
What's up,
y'all? Hey, Miss Janet. Talk to him. Breeze height is overrated. Cash. Hold on, I got 40 seconds. Hold on.
Mm-hmm. No, so in this day and age of football, especially in this spread era that we're currently in, although some teams are kind of transitioning back, if you can get a good OC that can scheme up how to get people open, and receivers that can run good routes, and a quarterback such as Jaden Daniels, who is accurate and can find people in space, you don't need a super huge target.
Right.
In some cases, a super huge target makes you a little bit easier to cover.
Right.
Just a little.
What's up, Nick? Nick says the man who doesn't like football. Cat say they trust the man that don't like football. Commissioner says nasty work. That's what they tell me, Carlton. Nick, a man that doesn't know ball, they an idiot. Oh my gosh, I don't trust Deuce now. The man who doesn't like football will give you an honest answer. The Commanders fan burned the gun. Yeah, because Brown, oh man, messed up with algorithm. Oh man,
Charlie,
dude
what's
had the
up with
biggest
it, bro?
drop of the season last year. Who we talking about? Who had the biggest drop of the season last year? I don't know. So we kind of behind. DC got to upgrade his Wi-Fi, sir.
Yeah, I know where DT live at. He's still on dial up. They just getting Wi-Fi out there.
It's nasty because it's true.
Oh man, what's up, Joe? What's up, D1? What's good, man? Appreciate you stopping through. Dolphins fan there. Commissioner says quality. Yeah, Commissioner's the new Commanders sources guy. Can we just stop talking about the receiver? Because the DBs are so much more for this shit. Yeah.
At least we know who the number one receiver is. Like,
What's up,
we have
Sam?
no clue.
Who, Nick?
Yeah, them first time seeing, I was like, hey man, I don't know you've been keeping up with the show, but we have all pretty much come to a consensus that we do not have a corner one on this team. So if you like fried chicken, you like wide and fried, deep fried, come outside the county, but them boys gonna be cooked all year. So don't even get surprised.
Gang. What's up,
Sally?
Big Sep in the building. What's good, man? So yeah, man. This whole wide receiver conversation is insane. Like even when people say, "Oh, we need size," he gives us nothing nobody else. But Bryson Tremaine has it, right? He's younger, is their guy, right? He's been at camp all this time, right? He hasn't. It's not like he's done enough to say, I'm the guy. If you're looking for this type of prototype, and Martavis hasn't either. Right? Like he has 23 catches over the last 10 years, and we don't need to do this whole spiel all over again. But my point is, if you're going to say we need that type of build, then you have somebody literally right there on the rosters that's been there this whole time.
Yeah, I mean, I said it when they first signed Martavis Bryant, is that I think Martavis Bryant was a bigger indictment on the back half of the receiver core than it was on the front half of it, with or without Jahan Dotson. Is you have, again, for the people who clamor for a big body, you had that in Bryson Tremaine, and to DT's point, it didn't translate in games. It looks good in practice, especially when you're practicing against your teammates that you practice against every day, but going against other teams and playing in games, it just didn't translate.
And look at Dog Tie with the stat man, not even in the red zone. Over the last 5 years, over half of the top 10 in red zone touchdowns are under 6'2".
Yeah, because smaller guys are better at finding spaces. Sitting in spaces.
Exactly. His next comment.
I've always been the type of person where I've looked at the guys that can run routes and understand sitting in zone. Yeah, just the guy that's gonna use his physical talents. Because Amon St. Brown, he's not 6'4" or anything, but he's been very consistent in getting open.
Who?
Amon St. Brown.
Oh yeah.
What up, George?
Yeah, for sure. So like, yeah, man. So if he does make the team, I ain't gonna be upset about it. Like, why? Like, it's so like it. People say, "Oh yeah, AP ran and jumped in his arms and gave him a hug after his touch." Like, I get it. Like, it's a feel good story. You got someone that's been through as much as he has been through over the last over the last half decade, able to get a touchdown on the square slant route, right? That fell in the end zone when he caught it. So, I guess, you know what I'm saying. But when it comes to Martavis Bryant, man, like, you have guys that's been here, right? And just to put them on a roster just cause when he really don't even know the offense, because all he's been running is go routes, and he ran that slant.
Go route slants, yeah.
Right. That's all. So you can tell he doesn't know the offense. You know what I'm saying? So is that the type of person you want to add to your original 53? Where I think that if you do release him, he'll sign to your practice squad, right? I don't think people's going to be clamoring for him to add him.
I think he clears waivers fairly easily.
Yeah, most definitely. No, I don't think anyone's going to pick him up off waivers and sign him to their 53. Yeah. So, but
I just think it's entire, and not just with receiver, with lots of receiver, corner, O-line, like whoever's on the initial 53, like tomorrow. Again, I think it's a very real possibility that several of them are not on the 53-man roster that we see week 1.
Oh, most definitely. It's definitely going to change. You got the injuries and all that other good stuff. Yeah. And just remember, any players that's either going to be short-term IR, any of those type lists that's not already on a PUP list, even on the PUP list, you're going to have to add them to your 53.
Speaking of PUP, did Bada ever come off the PUP list?
No, he's still there.
Okay. Was it Bada or Obada? It was Obada.
Obada. Yeah, F.A. Obada. And then once you do that after 4 p.m., then you can start putting them on PUP, short-term IR, or whatever it is you want to do, and start adding up players. So the original 53 is definitely not going to look the same come week 1. George Carmi in the building. What's good, George? This is my first time watching y'all. Usually just
welcome to the show, Nick.
Yeah, appreciate you, Nick. Yeah, stay over there.
I interact with Nick a lot on Twitter.
Yeah, especially these last couple of days. All my tables. What's up, Nah, I ain't gonna be upset, man. Like if they keep him, I'm not gonna be upset, but I'm not gonna like it. But
the only way I'd be upset is if we go into week 1 and he's starting week 1. I would be.
That's not his fault.
It's not, but
Oh man, I don't know, Commish. I'll let you. For me, I'll let you know after week 1. I just don't know.
You talking about by the end of the season, or
yeah, Brian's going to make the team.
Brian ain't getting that many yards.
What?
He ain't getting that many yards. He ain't getting that many yards. He might get 2 touchdowns. He ain't getting 500 yards.
He definitely getting comeback player of the year if he get those numbers.
He definitely ain't getting no 500 yards.
Yeah, I mean, just like Brees admit, like Tinsley is kind of like Pringle. Even though Pringle been in the league 7 years, I think Tinsley's his 2nd year.
Yeah, I think Tinsley's a practice squad candidate.
Yeah, most
likely a prime practice squad candidate because he had a rough game 2, but he had a pretty decent game 3, which kind of helped him a little bit. But the way he ended game 2 was definitely hurt him a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And all these guys are the same pretty much. Like there's no one is outplayed the next person. You know what I mean? So there's no separation between these guys. So once you get past 4, because I think we all can agree on 1 through 4, and maybe Crowder in that 5th spot. You know what I'm saying? I think more fans lean toward him making the team. I think he makes the team. Yeah. But everything after that, like whatever, just whatever it is just going to be what it is. It's not going to be. And I think all of them guys are clear waivers, regardless of which way they go. None of those players that's after 5, you have to worry about not clearing waivers. Yeah. Even Rosemary, like he's going to clear waivers. You know what I'm saying? So that's something we're not going to have to worry about.
Yeah, I agree. I think you look at the there's plenty of guys that this team they like, and they would love to have them back on the team in some shape or form. I'm just interested though because now with there's been a lot of talks about wide receivers trades, talking about John Mechie for the Texans and Tim Patrick now with the Broncos. Do you think that they would entice looking at some of these guys in a trade of some sort, try to trade like maybe a late round pick for these guys' services? What do you think about that, Deuce?
Yeah, man. And Telly, my cousin got this whack ESPN draft. The pick is every 40 seconds. It's like 12 people and like 9 of them is on auto pick. 3/4 of my team auto pick and I'm right here. Anyway, That ball was forced to Bryant by Kingsbury. The question is why? Yeah, man. I don't know. That's a heck of a question, to be honest. I mean, it's like a Rudy type thing, right? It's like a Rudy type thing. All of you out there that want Martavis to be on this team, you love that movie, Rudy. You love that Rudy movie. That's not even a sports movie. That's a love story. And he was offsides. And he was offsides. Finally got 2 times. We'll put him around wide receiver 3 range, and I just don't see it. Mitch, the only reason I say size, outside receiver is not necessarily being 6'4", but our wide receiver was short. And then when I say, but I think even when you talk about 6'4", right? If you give me a 6'4" guy, I need them to play like 6'9", 6'8", 6'9". That's how I need them to play. Because Terry plays 6'4", even though he's 6 feet 6'1". He plays 6'4". That's how he plays. Right. So if you're 6'4", I need you to play at 6'8". That's what I need you to do. And from what we saw, even from him in these games, it wasn't like it was a ton. It wasn't a lot of separation. Right. So I don't know, man. I guess we'll see. Joyce, I think Brian can clear waivers too. He's not going to have people fighting over him. But who would you take over? I would take Bryson Tremaine over him. I would take Tinsley over him. I think that's the only 2 guys towards the end. Crowder, of course. And it's not so much because I think when we think about Martavis Bryant, we thinking about Martavis Bryant from like 14 years ago. Like a lot of folk making an argument about him is about him coming out of college and what he did in Pittsburgh. That's not the same guy, but it's like people believe that he can all of a sudden, after missing like 10 years, pretty much. Because even we've say 6 years out of the NFL, but the 4 years before that, he was in and out of the NFL. And only had 23 catches during that time period. So am I to believe that we're going to get the Martavis Bryant from 12 years ago? Nah, man, I think we're getting the Martavis Bryant that haven't played in 6 years. Right? They have 14 catches in the UFL a season ago. A guy that came to the first trial overweight. Like people say he's been working out, he's been running routes, doing this and doing that. But why did you need to lose weight? If you're working out and doing all this stuff, you shouldn't be overweight. I mean, I don't know. Need a difference maker. George agrees with that big simple. Rudy was off sides, bro. I don't care. Yeah, commish. See, he was off sides, man. I see you put an ad out in the paper. Dukes cannot fill out. Whatever, Tally. Tally, wow. Don't you badmouth Rudy like that. Yo, Rudy was off sides, man. It's a horrible movie. How you feeling, Crowder?
Tough.
Oh, here go Belante. I can't see Bryson making a fit. Of course, because you got Bryant. You got another name that you know more about.
Tremaine is not.
Get that hate out your heart. It's not hate. Huh? It's not hate. But nah, to answer your question, and I'm glad, but just real quick, I'm glad Tally brought this up. What we're doing, I know a lot of fans love talking sports, and a lot of them think about starting podcasts and YouTube video doing content, but they just not sure how to get started, if this gonna fit for them, blah blah blah. So if you check my tweets, you can check. There's a tweet out there. If you're interested in doing it, just DM. I think it's Redzone DC_media.
You
on
forgot
Twitter.
your own social media handle?
No. This is the DC Media one.
Oh, got you.
Yeah. So DM that or DM any one of us, and we're gonna try to get you in a couple segments, in the next few weeks to see if there's something you want to do. You know what I'm saying? See if you enjoy it, see if you like it. And then if you do decide to pursue and do it and want to, kind of start your own pod, then we'll help you. Like we'll help you. We'll produce.
Welcome to Death
Um,
Row.
yeah, we'll produce your first few shows for you.
We signing podcast 360 deals out here. Come on, join the gang.
Oh man, if y'all don't want people all up in y'all podcast, man, putting promotions.
Why do people
out
keep
there.
thinking I'm asleep, bro? I'm not asleep. I'm on my phone.
It's your eyes, bro. As a
guess
fellow
Terry's not gonna
sleepy-eyed
bring all
brother, I
either.
get it.
That's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like.
Half Native American.
They're gonna roll this. They gonna roll that coverage to Terry side crazy. I forgot. I thought I was on my channel for a second. Almost killed the algorithm. I apologize.
Big red office hours. Not stupid. So I think so. Like, yeah, man. I mean, is Cliff gonna move him around? I don't know. It's gonna be something, man. We definitely gonna see it. So, but I think with Jaden, it definitely helps. The offense and takes a lot of pressure off of Terry. But let's get back to your question, DT. I like the John Michie, right? I liked him coming out of college. Unfortunately, he did have cancer, but I think the cancer that he had was one of the few cancers that's easily treatable. Yeah. He was out a whole year, and he came back last off season. I think he kind of started late into training camp, but he did play. I think he played all 16 games. Only think he had 30 catches or something like that. So I wouldn't mind.
Texas receiving core is loaded though.
Yeah, most definitely.
Even before they got Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, most definitely. So it's the target share there. It wasn't in his favor. So, and I asked people like earlier, where would he fall in his wide receiver room? And those that ain't get a chance to answer it, let me know. I think Bree, I think you said 2-3.
He would probably be like the slot receiver, but I think he would still be the second best receiver on the team though. Because most people say like your number 2 receiver will be your Z receiver. I don't think he's that. I think he's
What you think, DT?
To me, I would say he will probably be wide receiver 3 because he's played the slot a lot, and he will probably be the best slot receiver on the team.
Yeah. You want to answer this for Brad?
Playing taller than you are means hurt a lot, but not catching what you mean. Is it because Terry has a lot of... So basically playing not just taller but bigger than you are. So I believe Deuce said Terry plays like he's like 6'4". Your catch radius, your catch point, high point in the football going to get it. So, Santana Moss is somebody else who played a lot bigger than he was. And just utilizing, body control and their ability to go get the football essentially. As well as, blocking also plays a role in that and stuff like that too, where, bigger guys should naturally be better blockers, where people look at it as a smaller guy just by virtue of being smaller shouldn't be as good of a blocker, where that wasn't a problem for guys like that.
Yeah. Jeff Driscoll, no, I don't think he makes a team. I want him to. I have him on my 53.
I wouldn't be surprised if they traded him though. I can see him try to flip Driscoll for like a late round pick or something like that. Somebody that might, yeah.
Something like an emergency QB3 thing though. Like,
the NFLPA vetoed it.
For real?
Yeah, I read it today. So like now you have to be.
Oh, what happened today?
Yes. Well, I read it today. I don't know if it must have happened recently. Where you have to keep 3 quarterbacks on your roster. I think they all have to count toward the 53 or something. It's something.
Yeah, that was the route. So like the emergency quarterback, that's what you're talking about, right, DT? Yeah. So the emergency quarterback counts towards the 53, but the difference is he can suit up outside of on the game day roster. So how you usually have 47 on the game day roster.
Yeah.
48 as the emergency quarterback, but he only can come in if both quarterbacks are hurt.
Got you. Okay.
But
Go
If
ahead.
if one of the quarterbacks end up being active again or able to come back in the game, they have to automatically leave the field.
Yeah, but the other part to it was where some teams, a lot of teams, they'll keep a practice squad quarterback, and the prior rule was that you could activate that third quarterback on game day with no like to be your third quarterback or whatever it was. So you didn't have to carry 3 on the roster. That the NFLPA also they vetoed that you could do that, so you can't just bring them up every week for the sake of bringing them up.
Yeah. So
my belief as somebody, we kind of had the same thought process, whereas that it's like the NFLPA's attempt to keep guys on the active roster to get paid better. But I think a lot of teams nowadays are kind of just used to running with 2 quarterbacks, and then push come to shove, they'll have like a receiver or tight end or something that played like a Logan Thomas or something like that is capable of playing emergency quarterback in a pinch. And most of us kind of figure if you're down to your third quarterback in a game anyway, it you know what I'm saying, like it
cooked.
Yeah, you already cooked it up anyway. Just
Okay. Got
Nick says he produced podcasts and have done them as well. Feel free to DM. Y'all got any question? I think that's his handle on Twitter too, Nick Norris. So check him out. Belongs to the Air Miss Tremaine Week. Come on, man. Now the athlete Brian. Like Brian with strength speed on hands wide. When though? He ain't got strong hands now. Right? He let the little cornerback dude rough him up on the PIs.
Brian's problem has been dropping the ball though. When his career, he had a lot of drops.
Tremaine. You know that, Belante?
No, I'm talking about Bryant.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
One of his times, he would drop the ball just randomly.
Yeah, he would have like a spectacular catch. Like, how in the world did he do that? And then he'll drop something. Why? I'm like, how in the world did he drop that? Like, yeah.
Oh, did you know that, Belante? Yeah, go look at the numbers, dog. Ty. See how many drops he had 12 years ago when he was playing. Unc says he's still fast. I don't know, Unc. They keep giving me these unofficial YMCA 427 times.
Yeah, I mean, he ain't gonna run a 40 no more, so we ain't gonna get like a legit 40 time for him at this point. You gonna just have to look at him in game speed and kind of see for yourself.
Yeah,
man, I'm tired of wide receivers. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Can we talk about the defensive tackles outside of our big 3?
That's the elephant.
Fedarian and Ridgeway, because I've been seeing a lot of comments.
Ridgeway over there.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of comments about one talking about potential trade candidates. I don't know how that'll probably be, but like Deuce made a lot of comments last night, and he said he just doesn't see it with Fedarian.
Me either. And the fact that he was playing in the fourth quarter of the third preseason game, they may not see it either. But
I think that ship has sailed on Fedarian, man.
Yeah, like a lot of people I know he had a couple one play when he blew the center up. But I don't even think that was him.
Like I forget what it was, but I remember seeing him make a play though.
And a lot of people say like he had his best game. Me personally, I didn't see it. Like I didn't see it, and and regardless of how you look at PFF, they didn't see it either. But I saw a lot of Ridgeway.
Nah, if I'm choosing between them, it's Ridge. For me, it's Ridgeway easy. Like it's not even a difficult decision. It's like, and if you as Fedarian Mathis as a second round pick out of Alabama, if you can't dominate, you should dominate the fourth quarter of the third preseason game. Like, who gonna trade for him though, Telly? That's the thing. You gonna trade him for a conditional seventh round pick?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you might get a contending team, right? That's looking for a 3 or 4 defensive tackle to help their room. You might get a 7th or 6, some conditions in there.
I don't know.
I would imagine that they're definitely trying.
I'm sure they're trying. I just don't know what your value is.
Yeah.
If say what you want to say about Jahan Dotson, right? At the very least, we've seen Jahan Dotson produce. He got traded for a third and 2 7s.
Mm-hmm.
Fedarian Mathis has done literally nothing of note.
But think about this though. Think about Malik Willis. He's looked horrible, and they was able to get him for a 7. I mean, look at Michi. Like, if they trade him or release him or not, it seems like he has a lot of suitors. So they're probably going to end up getting trade compensation back. And I only think he had over 200 receiving yards last year. So it just kind of depends the fit, who wants him, and how many people. All you need is 2 teams.
You're right.
All you need is 2 teams to call. That's all you need.
You're right. You're right. And at this point, you might just need 1 team because I think it's like, okay, we'll take whatever we can get for him or cut him for nothing.
Yeah.
But I don't see Fedarian Mathis, with all due respect, he's the top 3. He's certainly not over in any way, shape, or form. That Ridgeway would be the 4th defensive tackle for me. How many defensive tackles are we keeping?
I think it's 4.
I think it's 4 too.
Because I think the personnel group is he going to have.
Yeah, so then that's Payne, Allen, Newton, Ridgeway. That's
the only thing that might throw a wrench in this is Newton. Like, is Newton going to be ready week 1? Is it going to be ready week 2?
And that's fair.
If that's the case, then you might have to hang Mathis around if he's going to be 4 games short-term IR.
I could see a scenario in which they cut Mathis and then send him back to the practice squad. I don't think he'll have a whole lot of suitors in free agency, especially with the way cuts are now. Everybody's cutting 40 people at the same time. They could just easily, I think he would probably fairly easily revert back to waivers. And just in case you have Newton's not ready to go week 1, in the first 4 weeks of the season or whatever, and you have Ridgeway there, who's been in your building, who knows the system, who knows the guys he's playing with. But again, like Ridgeway, if they keep 4, Mathis is out easily for me.
And it's definitely it's going to be a former 2nd round pick defensive tackle is going to be right before his name. So I think that automatically like puts him at the top of the free agent list when he gets released. So I don't think he's that much of a lock to miss waivers. Let's put it like this: I wouldn't be surprised if someone picked him up on waivers.
I do believe he'll get picked up though, because it's 17, 18 games a season. Injuries happen, and you probably need depth. There's some teams that been lacking in defensive tackles. Like we just seen.
Yeah, but to that point though, with the way free agency kind of works out is, unless you are a camp or preseason standout or like a veteran that has a proven track record, most teams would prefer to bring back their own guys to their practice squad and been in their building and bring in somebody else. And Fedarian Mathis, to me, doesn't check any of those boxes for an outside team. Obviously, he hasn't been in your building. He hasn't been a standout in preseason training camp or any point in his NFL career. Deuce mentioned him being a 2nd round pick at one point in time, but most people as we know now, had a 3rd or 4th round grade on him, and he was another reach of the previous regime. Like I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because most of the time they might have tackles and all that in their building that they still trying to groom.
Right. Unless you just seen them, and I don't recall, I don't know the layout of every single NFL team coaching staff wise. I don't know how much familiarity there is with him from coaching ranks around the NFL where it's like, oh yeah, Phil got it. He ain't shown it in games yet, but Phil got something. I like, but they've seen it, you know what I'm saying, in person every day.
You got Cosby, you got Quan, you got Brian Robinson, KJ Henry. I think that might be it. Cole Turner's still on the team, but let's talk about that. So first, I didn't have him on the 50. Then I threw him on there. But then I want to take him back off, but it's too late. I already put it on Twitter. But I I don't think he makes this team. I think they're looking for. I think they probably looking for a trade partner for him too, to try to get something out of it. With his upside, his intangibles, the things that he brings to the receiver room, his height, his catch point, all that stuff that he had coming out of college that he has not shown yet. But you might get someone out there that believes that they can.
I think he's one that you may be able to get some kind of a low round, return on. And you ain't gonna get nothing crazy, but I can see you getting like a 6, a conditional, a 5th or something like that. Like, but again, Cole Turner, his biggest problem, he's a big body that doesn't play as big as he is, and then he struggles in blocking as a tight end. Now, most teams we just gonna get a tight end that we know can block, and that way you ain't got to worry about it. But I can see somebody take a flyer.
And he put on weight, so I don't know how that he wasn't a great separator to begin with. So I don't know how he's handling.
Is Scott Turner still in Vegas? Vegas, right? Vegas.
I believe so.
I think they got a whole new staff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I forgot Antonio Pierce is the
Antonio Pierce.
Yeah. I mean the head coach out there. Well,
what you think, DT?
So Cole Turner, he was definitely fighting for a roster spot. I think they actually yank off a little bit more than
practice squad candidate.
Yeah, I think he'll make practice squad. But the thing with Turner was always he was a wide receiver that got converted to tight end, and to Bree's point, it's always been about him blocking, being more physical. I saw a little bit of that, but then I think because of how far has Senate has developed so far in training camp and stuff, that's kind of been the writing on the wall. And then
I thought Senate was just a fullback. I thought he was a fullback.
Yeah, that's what people say. He's fullback, but
that's what he says. That one guy.
But the performance the other day, it definitely didn't help. Multiple drop passes and penalties and stuff. So yeah.
Mitch in the chat said, "Can we add his preseason stats to his resume?" So
who? Martavis Bryant?
Yeah.
Add 6 yards to it.
Yeah, in a touchdown.
Scott Turner's still with the Raiders.
Oh, see, okay.
Oh, he's still with Paris. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was he the OC or he like a?
He's a passing coordinator.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that could be potential for, and it's back more like out on the West Coast where he's from too. So that's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know about Cole, man. I don't know. I don't think he makes it. Cole Turner, good is gone. Charles said good is gone. Smoke says, don't forget teams prioritize the interior D-lines this off season. Travis, I don't think Quan gets enough love. You talking about 1 quarter Quan? Scott Turner coaching Little League, Carolina. Don't forget us fans always override. We
do, but it's because we're familiar with it. Most of us don't follow what's going on in Seahawks camp. That's a bad example to Sam Howell. But you know what I mean? Like most of us don't follow what's going on in other teams camps. You know what I mean? Like there are like those of us kind of have a better idea, but in general, like your average fan doesn't follow Jets camp. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't know what they have. So we overvalue guys because we know what they've been here versus other guys.
And somebody made a point yesterday on Twitter, like we always do that with our guys, but every year at cut down, we end up getting all those players back on our practice squad. Nobody else wants them.
And a lot of them get cut and never sign anywhere else again. Like,
yeah, exactly. And even the ones that clear waivers that don't want to come back, they probably been here for 3 years and they want to go try and go somewhere else.
A la Marcus Mason and
and they end up all around the league. Who knows where they are? So yeah.
Right. Shout out
man, like it's crazy. Yeah, he's an H-back. Yeah, Snat's gonna be the truth, man.
Algorithm
like he can't block.
Algorithm gone.
Cooked.
Cole ain't even mid. Cole is
yeah.
And that's just I'm trying to learn new lingo. That's all.
But as far as the practice squad is concerned, remember, I think there are 2 protections and 17 players now. So you can add 17 players to the practice squad. That's why Dan Quinn was talking about it's about 70 players and not 53. But you still have to get the 53, Dan. Like, you're not fooling anybody. Like, you're still going to choose like 53 players initially, and you might lose those other 70. So I wouldn't be surprised, man. Look, listen, even in the wide receiver room, all of these rooms, we have all this competition, but it's like C competition, man. Like, right? It's like C competition. So you can't, I can't be surprised if some people that we think not gonna make it end up making a 53. And like Bree said, they probably not gonna be there on the opening day roster.
The majority of guys they want back for the practice squad, they won't have a problem getting back on the practice squad.
Exactly.
And there are several guys that make the initial 53 and we find better players and then they end up on the practice squad or something like that. It's just,
Yeah, let's go to Cavs out, but y'all told me Cole wasn't there. You know what? It looks like
never told you that.
Hold on, let me see. Let me see. Did Rogers get cut? Let's see if Rogers make the 53 with the Giants. Because that's what Dog Tide going. That's exactly where he's going. What's up, Glenn? No news yet, man. Or we do have news. It's like we haven't made any cuts yet. I haven't seen anything. The cut you have to get to 53 by 4:00 tomorrow, Nick. He's in Philly. Okay, Philly. One of them. Running back room. So Kaz Allen, DT. Bro, it seems like this. It seems like they are really trying to find a role for him.
Yeah.
Because and everybody in the chat, man, like, who do we have anybody explosive on this team that could take it to the house? Like Kaz Allen. And even though he hasn't I think they've seen it in him. They've seen it in college. They kind of seen glimpses of it. But he had a fumble last week. He had a drop pass.
Mm-hmm.
He cannot, like, this whole running back. This has been a complete failure.
It's just for him. He's not a consistent player. Just overall, he has the gear. He has the ability. He's not consistent in the stuff he do. Not consistent holding the ball. Not consistent catching the ball. Punt return and kick return duties has been very spotty. But obviously, this staff they see something in him. Will he make the team? Probably no. I see what they're trying to do, but I just don't.
They trying, man. There's no one else. Like, I don't know anyone on this team, man. Like, he can't. Like, he has his running back vision is horrible. Like, he can't. Either they wasn't blocking for him, or he just ain't got no vision. You can't really tell. Because he was in there with the third and fourth string guys, so they wasn't blocking anyhow. But the gadget guy that you want to do a reverse every now and then, a quick screen, something like that. I mean, even his vision on kickoff and punt return is not good. And that's probably the most important thing. Because you think about return guys is not always the fastest, but it's always the ones that have patience and that can burst and that can have vision where the block is going to end up and not where the block is. He just doesn't have that yet.
So let me ask you this, Deuce. They're doing this experiment with him. Do you think that's very telling of what they think about the playmakers around Jaden?
Say it again.
With them trying to convert Kaz Allen to a running back, we know the wide receiver room is very fluid, but you kind of feel like they have their spots. Does that kind of tell you how they feel about the skill position? Because they're trying to convert him to running back, and he has the speed to do it but the vision is not there. He's like a Gibson. Does that
Yeah,
kind
and
of position?
yeah, like yeah, and I don't think they want to make him a running back either. I think they just want to give him touches. I think they just wanted to see, give him touches, get him hit a few times.
He had to roll.
He had those couple fumbles. He had fumbles last year. He had some muffs last year. Let's see how he is getting some contact.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, like we don't really have an explosive player. I know Trell mentioned McNichols, but even for him, I haven't seen it. I mean, he hasn't had great vision, if we really being honest, in the games that we've seen. Wiley has been the best. You can see his vision, right? Uh, McNichols is not really a lock.
Do we think Eckler still has it?
Oh, most definitely. Like Eckler, B Rob shows some good vision. Eckler, he definitely has it. Like he's definitely can be an explosive player. But you want to be able to have some gadget guys like that you can
Yeah.
bring in. Shoot, what, two, 3 snaps a game, just to kind of show something different to try to get a spark. Where the defense is not game planning against, right? They're going to be game planning for Eckler. You know what I mean? Not saying that he's not going to be able to outperform that game plan, but still, you want to be able to have wrinkles on your depth chart, and I just don't think that we have them.
Yeah, I got you.
Lights out. What's good, man? How you been? The season is back. Do you think we bringing it? Yeah. So let's talk about player X's. I want to see Luke in the gadget role. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't see him. Maybe I got to go back and watch some more tape on him, because like he didn't have a lot of rushes last year, a lot of carries for Rice last year.
The most rushes he had when he was a quarterback in Nebraska.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course. But that's the reason why they converted him to wide receiver, right? So I don't know. Smoke. Maybe, maybe, maybe. Will Danko AP have a press conference tomorrow? I don't know. I haven't heard anything yet. What guys came out of high school as a running back? Yeah, he's just small. Yeah, so and I don't know what school he went to, but he was putting up like 2,000 rushing yards and all that. So you take that for what you want. Yeah, I don't see the burst though, but he does have some great vision. Diami is explosive. You can get creative with snats. Yeah, I think you guys are right, but it's still not like
Yeah.
that guy that can take it. And I kind of refer back to the screen. Remember the screen that Terry, when we were saying Jahan didn't really get out there to block. Like Curtis has enough wiggle, he has enough twitch, speed, explosive that he could have made a move even in that small space. Like we don't have no we I don't think we have any phone booth guys. Like, do we have any phone booth guys on this team at all? Do we have any phone booth guys, including Eckler, Terry, whoever you want to include? Do we have any phone booth guys on this team? And I don't think we do. I don't think we do. Player X's, like Breeze talked about, not having the same 53 that we're going to have Tuesday at 4 o'clock for the game day 53. Where do you see some player X's at? For me, I see player X as in a wide receiver, and a player X is a player that's currently on another team. I see player X as a wide receiver. Um, I see player X cornerback and player X tackle. What about you, BJ?
Yeah, you you just both in agreement tonight. I definitely see that going to be that way. I just those positions right now are just very weak. I mean, I would say wide receiver and tackle. Okay, they have some guys there, but you just don't know who's going to be contributing as of right now. But the corner room, I think to me that's probably player X one that needs to be addressed because I'm not confident in the corner room right now, and hopefully there's a guy out there that hits the waivers and Washington try to sign him and add to this room because you're looking at Forbes, St. Juice, Davis, and Noah looked bad. Noah looked bad yesterday. Like, could not tackle worth forever. Didn't really see anything out of Blue Kelly. Like, corner room is a mess right now.
Yeah, man. So I definitely can see some player X's for sure. Oh, let me see something real quick. See if I can do this. Let me try something. I don't even know if I'm gonna get in trouble. Let's see. Can you hit him?
If Scott makes it, Daniel's.
Yeah, I get you.
Okay, fair. I'm with you guys. Keep track of the chat.
Hey, I'm surprised I got
This
my
is,
waivers. Most time y'all usually tell me.
man,
Well,
this
Scott was hurt. Scott was hurt.
Got Steve.
So he might. So
Yeah.
there's a weird stigma that you can put someone on the 53 and put them on an injured status, and they won't count it. It's a brand new rule.
But you have to do it the next day, though. You have to make the original 53, I think.
So
Right?
it's a weird.
It's the Commanders podcast. Check that out, man. Give them guys a follow.
So
they do some good content.
I think Scott makes it over Daniels, bro.
All right.
Over there.
I didn't even know that he didn't dress. I just been watching, like when I do watch, he's playing over Daniels, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Wagon,
Hey,
Waganaga and Waggle, the waggle,
Wagyu beef.
waggle.
They are so funny.
To the window,
Wow. Okay. So what do we got here? We got
get in
one,
there.
two, hell yeah.
Waggle. Oh, look. Steve's doing the. For anybody not watching and just listening, his name is NWA and a bunch of vowels and G's and W's. I don't know how the fuck you say that shit. But I mean, hey, my name is Sean Deveron. Y'all can't spell that shit either. So I feel like I can.
Oh my god, bro.
Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
Dev is wild, bro. Dev is wild, bro. Let me see what we got. Unc say DBs, you can see a player X. Slim said I don't see any player X for real. No positions. You think whoever the 53 is, well, we know is depending on injuries or whatever, you might get a couple guys. But you pretty much saying whoever's going to be on our 53 are guys that we already have here. When the 53, like next week's 53, after we go through waiver wire and all those and practice squad and all that. Yeah, Noah's 19. He had a horrible game yesterday. He had a horrible game yesterday. Horrible game yesterday. Temper is going to be there. I mean, they say he got a lot of suitors, so he's probably going to get traded. I know we have, a couple sevenths that we have now that we may or might not use. But we also got to think about this, y'all, is we're number 2 in the waiver wire.
Mm-hmm.
So we might not throw that trade conversation out there if we feel as though the team is going to release them because, more than likely we'll be able to get the player that we want. So yeah, man. I'm surprised. You surprised we didn't make any moves yet?
Not really. I think they really want to take their time and assess the roster.
I think it's more to it. I think they probably looking for some moves too.
You think they're on the phone? They probably is on the phone, man. Like, I would not be surprised if we do another trade.
Yeah. They still talking trash, Montez Sweat.
Ah, boy.
Somebody, I ain't gonna say that's gonna mess my algorithm up. So yeah, man. So we definitely gonna chop back in on tomorrow. After 4. Key, good point. They probably are looking to try to shop Defoe. It's a lot of Defoe is a 4th round pick, right?
Yeah, he was a 4th rounder.
Yeah. So I mean, you got Defoe, you got Mathis. You could have Percy. It's a lot of these old Ron Rivera guys. That's on the roster they could be looking to move or keep. But yeah, man, Defoe. What you think about Defoe? Like he just seemed like he was like out of position the whole game. It's like he was just always late. And then we don't know the coverage either, right? So it's more of an all 22 type thing, but it just looked like he was just late everywhere.
I think it's a numbers game right now, man, because you have Quan Martin, you have Jeremy Chin. What's interesting though, as much as we talked about Forrest, they haven't said anything about Percy Butler like that. I haven't really even seen Percy Butler like that this offseason.
Yeah, I know. Like at camp, he was running with the 2s a lot, 1 and 2s a lot. He played last week. He didn't play this week. He didn't dress this week. So, yeah, we gotta see. And another thing, like some players can have injury clause. I don't think he has one because he's still in his rookie contract. So,
yeah,
I don't know, man. That's something we're gonna have to kind of figure out and see.
He don't see a coverage free safety.
Yeah, I don't know, man. And I don't think you really. I mean, I think you want a guy that can play deep and don't let nothing get behind him. But for the most part, you want a guy, your free safety, be able to play areas and not actually a person. Mm-hmm. But in today's NFL, these safety positions are interchangeable.
Yeah,
like you gotta play both, free and in a box. And I just think he kind of struggles in a box, and he's not great outside the box. So I don't know, man. Let me see, DT, he been steady through camp. That don't hear his name, good or bad, but hasn't taken the leap to really be what I saw his potential to be. But that's with Defoe too, Slim. I mean, even Quan, and I call him 1 quarter Quan, because he had that great quarter last year, which I think got a lot of fans hyped. And I think this new regime likes him. I think he's the starting safety for sure.
Yeah.
But how many of these guys are just that much better? Like, is it? We're going to go for about 10 more minutes. If anybody wants to come in and give a couple predictions on a roster, just put it in the chat, and then I'll DM you the links to come in real quick. But has anyone on this team, in a sense, outside of like Eckler, Terry, B-Rob, of course, Jaden, Payne, Allen, but like, has anyone on this team outright destroyed their position group? Like, just outshine their position group. Just stand alone, sore thumb. Like, yeah, he is without the shadow of doubt the best free safety. Is it that he's the best free safety, or the players behind him is just not good? Oh yes, and Bobby Wagner, of course. Good point.
I would probably say Frankie Louvu, Sandra Still.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yep.
Maybe Tyler Owens.
Tyler Owens, that boy got a motor, but he's still kind of raw for me. and base sets. Like he's still kind of raw for me, but
Yeah.
but as a depth guy, yeah, like yeah, I think he definitely makes the team, and I think that's why Forrest won't make the team because the emergence of Tyler Owens, especially on special teams. Yeah, Louvu, Frankie. Yeah, I forgot about Sandra Steer. Frankie Louvu was all over the place. I think this defense gonna be all and think about this. I don't even think Bobby Wagner played in the joint practices, has he? Did he?
Did
I
he
don't
play the one in
know.
Miami?
I don't know. Did he do the joint practices?
I don't think he did, man. I don't think he did. I don't. That's a good question, dude.
No, I don't. He's still real raw. He's still real raw. And to Nick's point, I think for like I think the positive about these 1 year deals, Nick, is that can you find French starters off of these guys with these 1 year deals? Like, can you find French starters, backups to build your team? Because this is how contending teams are built, with your depth guys being French starters that can step in 3-4 games and you not fall off the cliff. Can these 1 year guys be that for you? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Fowler is older, Farrell is older. Chen been in the league 5 years?
Yeah.
You know, Mike Davis. I mean, we got a lot of players, Defoe, St. Juice, all those guys on the last year of their rookie deal. So you have a lot of these 1 year deals, but can you find French starters to help build this team? I don't know. Come here, say he didn't play. What's up, Ash? So that's something you gotta can we get that? Can we find some of these guys that we can help build our roster out for the next these years to come? Because people say, your window, like out when you're not paying a quarterback, your window is open. Our window is open right now. Whether you want to believe it or not, because we have a rookie quarterback. And if he's going to be the franchise guy, the time is now, right? You can't wait 3 years, because if you wait. I mean, you can't help it. If you got to wait, you got to wait. They're just not good enough. The team not good enough for 3 years. But you wait to year 3, right after year 3, you're talking about money now for your franchise quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, even a 5th-year option, that jump probably be $50 million in 4 years. So the time is now, man. Like, this new NFL just don't have time to wait anymore. All right, man. I think we're good. We want to belabor the folk. Remember, tomorrow the deadline is 4:00. Who knows when we're going to start seeing these releases and stuff come down? But just keep in mind, man, like, you gotta, if you trust AP when he make the move you want him to make. Because look, we've been wrong a lot about what they thinking we know what they're going to do, and they can do something completely different. Like the Jahan thing came out of nowhere. No one knew about it. Didn't leak anywhere. Nothing. None of that. It just happened. So if you're going to trust them for moves that you agree with, you got to trust them for moves you don't agree with. Even if they add Martavis to the 53-man roster, I might not like it, but I'll still trust AP. DT, what you got, DT?
Man, look, I'm very excited to see what this group is going to do. prepare for the unexpected. That's all I gotta say. And also catch up with us this week for the Command Time podcast. We'll be also touching and recapping the post trade, not post trade, but the post cut deadline and all that stuff, and see if they're going to make any moves this week.
Buckle up, buckle up, buckle up. The Ayuk saga continues, and I think
I'm off that, man. They holding that brother hostage.
Oh, he holding them hostage. Who knows? All right, man. We appreciate your time. We know your time is very valuable for you spending with us. We definitely appreciate. Shout out to Breeze. It's that time of year when he coaches, so they have coaches meetings and things like that. So that's where he is now. Ceelo, like he's somewhere on some jet or something like that. So wherever he is, is where he is. But we definitely will see you all more this week. It's time to turn it back up. The season is full go now. Hopefully it's 8 months and not 7 months, right? Hopefully we get into January and February.
Yeah.
But we will definitely see, but we will be here. I think the regular season starts in like 12 or 13 days. Giddy up. Tampa Bay is on deck. It's time for us to start prepping and preparing for them. We definitely appreciate y'all. Nick say he ain't coming. Ain't coming. Escobar season has returned. Appreciate you, Commish. Appreciate you, ask everybody that joined, man. Definitely appreciate y'all. Remember, do it because you love it, not because it loves you. One beat, one sound, one heart, one love.